Hey guys, it's Kelsey and welcome to my page for the collaboration with Page Maps. I am super excited to be a part of this hop. You can see there I'm super excited to be using Felicity Jane, and everything about this page I am so excited about. You don't even know. So I do have an 8.5 by 11 sketch here, so I am actually going to be creating my first ever 8.5 by 11 layout. So you see me pulling in a few of the Felicity Jane layouts papers I want to use. These photos are from the Atlanta Botanical Garden, so I thought the florals and the colors and everything just went so perfectly. I love these greens and pinks and yellows that are in the Gina collection, so I'm trying to do this sketch like verbatim as close as I can. I cut my photos to the same size. I'm trying to keep these layers the same size. I really love this one. It's cute having little tiny photos to work with. You guys know I usually work with 4x4 and 4x6s, so having these like 2 by 2.5 photos are so adorable. I really enjoy it, and I might have to print some smaller ones more too, because you guys know I have issues sometimes with multi-photo pages, because when I use these large photos and multiple of them, you don't have very much room to design, and when you have these cute little smaller versions of the photos, you have so much more space to do stuff on your page. So just had to say that. Might have to be printing some more smaller photos because those are super cute. I'm trying to just first, before I do anything else, get all of the paper layers in the correct proportions and glued down and layered so that the sketch has been done justice. So I have this solid color with a scallop I'm going to use kind of as the skinny strip above that first floral piece, and then I will use the back side. I love Felicity Jane is double-sided, so I can use one paper and get multiple patterns, which I love. You guys know I'm frugal. I hate cutting into multiple full sheets for one page. So having double-sided papers is really nice, because if you cut into a 12 by 12, at least you get 2 patterns out of it. So the solid has this yellow and this pink, which go exactly perfect with the floral. So I wanted to make sure I got both of those in. So those are my main patterns. This cute little black and white heart I picked up from Hobby Lobby with the intention to use to supplement my Felicity Jane stuff. Black and white heart paper just screams Felicity Jane to me. So that's what I'm using as my background, and then I'm building up from there. I tried and failed to do this border punch around the corner. I know there's a way to do this. I know there's a way to use this border punch and do corners with it, but I did not do it correctly. So both of my corners are a little funky. I'm just going to end up covering up the corners with embellishment. I was really hoping I could at least get one of these corners right so I could show off some cute little punching corner skills, but did not work. It's fine though. In the sketch, there's this cute little zigzag going around that piece in the middle where the title, embellishment, and journaling is, so I wanted to mimic that as well with a border punch. Yeah, ignore the corners. I'll cover them up in a minute. I did just want to fussy cut this little scalloped detail though for the layer that's going to go on top. I really liked having this pink kind of balanced above and below the photo strip, so that's going to be the layer on top, and then I will use the reverse, which is that yellow, as the third pattern. In the sketch it's a stripe. I had meant to do some sort of stamping, embossing, or something on the yellow to kind of make it its own pattern paper. I saw Caitlin do this recently where she did, she just took this simple pink and white stripe paper, nothing special about it, and she just stamped some hearts on it and made her own like pattern paper, and it was so stinking cute. So I really wanted to do that. That was my intention with that yellow piece, was to make it a pattern paper, but I glued all of this down and was like, oh, too late. In the end, it's okay though. I like having kind of those simple solid colors up there because there is kind of a lot going on with the rest of the page. I did pull out my Heidi collection from Felicity Jane, so those are the rest of the Heidi embellishments I have. I thought the colors coordinated really well, has more florals in it. So the Gina collection, the only thing I have from the Gina collection I think is the 12 by 12 paper, because I got it on sale. but everything else was like sold out already. But thankfully Felicity Jane is so good about making their collections. Each of them have such a different vibe, but they still coordinate really beautifully with each other. So that's why I wasn't too worried about it. I have the Gina paper, the Heidi ephemera. You'll see me pull in the Mila stickers, and I think the Brooke puffy stickers, I think. So yeah, they all mix and match beautifully, which is really, really nice. But you see me layering those up there. I really want to copy the sketch and do a larger florally section down where my journaling is going to go, and then a smaller section up by the top. So you kind of saw where I layered those ephemera. I wasn't going to put anything in the bottom right corner of my journaling paper, but of course I have that botched corner I need to cover up, and there's this cute little circle that says smile that's blue. There's a little bit of blue in the two florally sections that's not anywhere else, so I thought it would be nice to pull that blue into a third spot so it looked like it was supposed to be there. I did run into an issue where I felt like this floral paper was running into this heart paper, and you couldn't really see the edges because it was white on white. So I did decide to go ahead and back these layers in black. Felicity Jane's always very light and airy. They can do white on white beautifully, but when I do it, it doesn't look good. So I'm going to go ahead and matte them on black. I think that adds a lot of boldness and a lot of pop. I have the black in the background with these hearts. So I figured it'd be fine kind of introducing more black in that way. I just want to do a really skinny border around these layers, but it adds such a difference. You'll see from before versus now, those layers just pop off of that background page, and I think that looks really nice. So that's what I ended up doing. You'll see me a little later do that with my photos as well, because my photos kind of run into the background as well and get lost. So I do go back and matte the photo strip on some black as well to kind of bring that black border from the papers into another spot. But it also kind of makes those pop off the page as well. I'm going to glue them down. I don't know this yet. Kind of realize that farther down the line. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get all this glued down so that my sketch is done, and then I can just figure out with finishing. But I pretty much keep it exactly how it is. This sketch is super cute. I didn't want to mess with it, so that's what's going down now. Gluing down all the paper layers, my poor little corners. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to do those corners. Yeah, nope. What do I do next? I think I'm getting the florals all situated, so I'm going to pop up a few things on foam. I'm going to just get my double-sided tape down first so that they are ready and primed to go, so that when I get my foam down, I can just stick and plonk. So peeling that off. I have a hard time with my nails, you guys, pulling the double-sided tape off, so I'm just using my scissors to kind of peel the backing off right now. But I'm putting those back down exactly where I had them. I love where this floral piece was situated, but you could still kind of see the corner behind it. So I love this little ampersand that goes on top of it. I popped the ampersand up in that corner, so you'll see that in a minute. I'm just trying to jimmy rig my foam. I ran out of foam. I have a few of the sticky pop dots, but I didn't want, they're kind of thick, and I didn't want that thick of a foam, so I kind of jimmy rigged my own foam so it wasn't so dimensional. But yeah, that's kind of why it took me a little longer to do that. So there's that little corner, and I was trying to decide if I needed to go ahead and glue this down before I did that top cluster, which I decided yes you do, because those florals are going to run off of the page, so I want it to go ahead and be able to stick to both layers. Now I'm going back to the top cluster. I did the circle too, yeah, that little smile. The little smile is really cute. I really like what it adds, but yeah, it was not intentional. That was purely to cover up my corner that did not turn out so cute. So yeah, stuck down the yellow flower, and then again, I am just popping some foam up on this little pink flower just so there's some dimension. I think that looks so cute when you layer ephemera to have that top one popped up on some foam. And then there is this little floral strip that came in the ephemera as well. I thought about layering, but I decided I just didn't need it. I'm working on a smaller scale, and I still need to do my title and my journaling, so I didn't want to add too much to where it would feel like it was crammed. So I decided not to do that. And now I am going with my title. I thought at first I would use the Heidi. This yellow goes perfect with Gina. But I also had these Mila puffy titles, and I just thought that those just looked so much more fresh and had dimension, and it popped a lot more than the yellow did. The yellow on the pink didn't look quite as bright as this white on the pink, so I went with this Wander. I thought that was super appropriate, especially because we are doing Alice in Wonderland. They had these awesome exhibits where they created these huge sculptures out of plants. You can see the White Rabbit there, the Jabberwocky. You can see the Queen of Hearts guards there. So I just thought that was super cool, and that was really appropriate too. So this is where I decide that I need to map my pictures. So I'll kind of move around the things that were going on top of it so I can mat it really quick. But I think I'm really glad I did. I think it makes such a big difference having the skinny black border around the photos. So you'll see in a minute what that added. And I'm really glad I went back and did it. I don't think most people would have had a problem with the way it was before. But yeah, I really like seeing the edges of my paper. So when one bleeds into another, I feel a compulsion to kind of do something to make it more bold and more noticeable. So I think that looks super cool. So getting that back down, and then I think this part will go super quick. I'm doing some stitching. This was also inspired by this sketch. I don't know if you can see from my phone there, but there is some stitching detail or faux stitching detail, whichever one you want to take it as, on that skinny strip above the photos. So for me, that's my little scalloped piece that I cut. And I really wanted to mimic that almost exactly. So I did just stitch 2 rows. I did back stitching, so it looks super clean and even and uniform. And then I wanted to pull stitching into another area since I had it up there. So I am also going to stitch my journal lines. I've done this a few times before and was really surprised by how much I liked it. And so I decided, since I had stitching on the top, this would be a great page to go ahead and stitch lines and do that for my journaling. So you see I did that really quick there. And now I just need to write out my journaling. Oh wait, I do have my little puffy stickers. So I thought about doing a few of the banners. All these colors coordinate really good as well. So yeah, I play around with those puffy stickers. Am I doing puffy stickers yet, or am I doing journaling? Where did I go? I went missing. Kelsey, where did you go? Yes, I'm doing journaling first. I don't know where I went, but I'm doing journaling first. So I just, oh yeah, I was typing out what I wanted to say to make sure I could spell check it, because yeah. This says, the Alice in Wonderland exhibit at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens was amazing. It is insane to see the sculptures made completely from plants. Happy birthday, Mom. Because this was my sister's birthday present for my mom, was to come here. Which is great, because I thought I had been to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, but it must have been somewhere else, because I do not remember this place. It is super cool. So yes. That way I kind of got all of my details in my journaling, where we were, why we were there, and then also kind of explaining the photos that it was Alice in Wonderland. Back to the puffy stickers now. I decided to actually go with these cutie little triangles. I really thought I was going to use the banners at first somewhere, but yeah, I decided to kind of do the arrows instead. And I really like the pink, the yellow, and kind of the aqua, how it all looked together. So at first I thought I was going to do a solid color, like all 4 of one color, to kind of point to my different embellishment clusters. But as I started laying them down, I decided to do a pink triangle, a yellow triangle, and then an aqua triangle, and they look so cute together, and it brings in the patterns, the colors from the papers, and I just think that's adorable. So got those in those 2 areas. I really like the detail that adds. And then you guys will see in a minute. You guys know I'm a 12 by 12 scrapbooker. I am not an 8.5 by 11 scrapbooker, but I wanted to do this exactly like the sketch. That way page maps would have what they wanted. But I did decide to go back and mat this entire layout on a 12 by 12 so that it can go in my album. And I just think this changes the whole vibe. Like, I loved it before, but I matted it on this multicolored stripe from the Gina collection, and It looks so stinking cute. I love it so much. So I'm just going to gut, of course, what's behind this giant layer so I can save that precious stripe for another page. But yes, if any of you were wondering, what am I going to do with an 8.5 by 11 with all my 12 by 12 albums? All you gotta do is mat it on a 12 by 12, guys. You could have done this with any kind of solid. I could have taken a solid sheet, just white, just black, and matted it on there, but I really, really love the way this multicolor stripe looks with this smaller layout. So once I matted it on there, I was like, yes, it's perfect. So that's how it will go in my album. I think that is so cute, and I love that you can see the literal representation of the sketch in the 8.5 by 11 format, but also how you can translate it super easily to 12 by 12. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out everyone else playing along. Bye, see you later.